Hello G.I. Joe fans. Today we're going to discuss Hasbro Pulse's recent live stream that they called Fan First Friday for Yo-Jo June, which I've affectionately dubbed Fan Fail Friday for Yo-Joke June. Specifically, we're going to discuss their announcements of the latest G.I. Joe classified releases, so stay tuned.
Come with me, toy fans.
Hey toy fans, my name is Tony and welcome back to the Analog Toys YouTube channel. And the first thing we're going to discuss, we're going to go through this chronologically just like they did on the Hasbro Pulse live stream. So we're first of all going to discuss Heavy Artillery Roadblock. And of course it's another damned exclusive. This time it's an Amazon exclusive. And if you were to watch this live stream and read the live chat at the same time, Hasbro are obviously not listening to fans because people were screaming out for no more Target exclusive, no more exclusives, no more Cobra Island. You know, fans want to be able to get their hands on these, but it seems like the majority of the figures are just exclusive after exclusive after exclusive. This is the fourth roadblock that we've had in the G.I. Joe classified line. This is the closest they've come to getting him correct, but they still haven't quite got there. So if they almost get there and then just go, oh, we're almost there. Who gives a crap? Let's just put it out like this. And the reason they haven't quite got it there, this is finally, after 4 attempts, they have got the uniform look of Roadblock correct, but Roadblock's weapon, Mardus, the 50 caliber machine gun, was so much a part of his character. And what have they done here? They haven't given him Mardus, they've given him a minigun. And why did they give him a minigun? Because they're being lazy. Because they'd already produced a minigun to go with the Ram cycle that we'll talk about in a minute. Now in the Hasbro Pulse live stream, the designer that was on camera there, I don't know who he is, he talked about the fact that Roadblock's pistol had a hole in the barrel, and he mentions
we even have a 1.5 millimeter hole in there for blast effects.
That it is 1.5 millimeters in diameter. And he says that's because, you know, a lot of fans also want to use these blast effect features. Well, Hasbro aren't producing blast effect features. I'll tell you who is, the Valaverse Action Force toy line. So I thought I'd do a little test here, and I got my digital calipers out, and the internal hole in the barrel of the Valaverse weapons are 1.5 millimeters in diameter. So now Hasbro is copying Valaverse. They also talked a lot about Roadblock's minigun and the fact that it comes with a spare ammo can. The problem is, when a minigun is attached with an ammo can like this, to get ammo from the can into the minigun, it needs a belt of ammunition. And they haven't given us that. Again, it's just pure laziness. You know, they've spent all this time and energy and money creating this minigun for a different toy. I'm pretty certain that they made this toy for the Ram first and then went, oh, it's a cost-effective way that we can put out a 4th roadblock. Not a Stalker, no, a 4th roadblock. How in this line have we got 4 different versions of Roadblock and yet we don't have Stalker? Anyway, you know, they've created this minigun with this detachable ammo can with no ammunition belt, which would have been very, very easy to make from injection molded flexible PVC, but they just could not be bothered. Next up, they went on to discuss the Commando version of Snake Eyes and his Wolf Timber. And I do think the Wolf looks pretty good, but I don't understand why we didn't get Timber with the very first deluxe version of Snake Eyes, instead of this weapons rack and all these weapons which were part of the exclusivity of the toy, but then they of course cheapened that exclusivity when they gave those unpainted weapons to the Red Ninja. And while I do think Timber looks pretty good, I was very, very disappointed with the Commando version of Snake Eyes for 2 reasons. First of all, the shape of his head, it's like Frankenstein. It's really, really flat on the top. And all you're pretty much getting here is a new set of web gear and a new head, because this is none other than a repainted version of Beachhead. That figure that's now selling for like $150 because people couldn't get them. At this point, Hasbro may as well just change the date that they host these live streams, and instead of calling them Fan First Friday, just change it to Scalper Saturday. Because that's what you've done through your own ineptitude. You've created a marketplace where you're leaving money on the table. You're putting all the effort into designing these figures and selling them for $25 a pop. And scalpers are raking in hundreds, reselling these figures for In some cases up to $150 for a Cobra Island beachhead. How stupid are you, Hasbro? They also pointed out the fact that one of Snake Eye's weapons here comes with a removable magazine. Again, another little feature stolen from Valaverse. The difference being, with a Valaverse Action Force figure, you get spare magazines. What's the point in giving an action figure a weapon with a removable magazine without spare magazines? It makes no sense to me. Also cheapening the exclusivity of the original Deluxe Snake Eyes, one of the reasons I really wanted that figure is because he came with his classic Uzi, and the retail release version of the figure came with, you know, a stupid Nerf gun. But not only have Hasbro cheapened the exclusivity of the figure by giving all the ninja weapons to the Red Ninja, they've now given the Uzi to Commando Snake Eyes. So this deluxe exclusive Hasbro Pulse, whatever, original Snake Eyes that everyone was clamoring for, you know, because he had these unique accessories, what's the point? They're not exactly unique anymore, are they? Another thing I particularly don't like about Snake Eyes Commando is the fact that his knife looks like a butter knife, like it doesn't even have a point to it, it's all rounded. Now I do know that when Timber first appeared in the G.I. Joe comic, it was still at the stage when Commando Snake Eyes was the character that was featured. But for us kids in the 80s, like the original Commando Snake Eyes, he didn't have a sword, he wasn't a ninja then, and it was version 2 Snake Eyes with the sword that had Timber. That is the classic look for me. How come we've had two kind of version 2 Snake Eyes in the classified line without Timber, and now you release him with Timber? It's all back to front. The Hasbro Pulse team then went on to briefly discuss Major Blood and some of the other Cobra Island Target exclusives. And they mentioned in that live stream that they're aware that a lot of fans weren't able to get some of the earlier release Cobra Island figures, such as Beachhead and the Cobra Infantry. So they are going to re-release some of these figures later in the year. But I will bet money that they make some changes to those figures, whether that's different paint applications or slightly different weapons or something. So that if you're a completist collector, it's still going to frustrate you not being able to get the original release versions of Beachhead, Cobra Infantry, Roadblock, and the Baroness and the Cobra Coil bike. Now we get to Barbecue, and the Barbecue character holds a really special place in my heart because he was the first real G.I. Joe action figure that I ever owned when I was a child. And I'm not going to slate this figure because it does look particularly good. The problem is, it's another Cobra Island Target exclusive, which basically means no collectors are going to get these figures. So far we've had an Amazon exclusive Roadblock, what I believe is going to be a retail release Commando Snake Eyes and Timber, and then a Target exclusive Beachhead. And the fourth announcement for the classified line is the Ram Cycle with Breaker, and it's another damn Cobra Island Target exclusive. And if you go and watch this live stream back and read the live chat, it's like watching a car crash. Fans are frustrated. They're sick of all these damn exclusives. Amazon exclusives, Walmart exclusives, Target exclusives, Cobra Island exclusives. You talk about fan first, it's a fan fail, and it's a yo joke. The Ram Cycle does admittedly look good, and you know, if we're going to get vehicles in the G.I. Joe line, this was the ideal choice. They probably should have brought this out before they brought out the Cobra Coil bike for the Baroness. You know, it's a nice looking vehicle, but again, being a Target Cobra Island exclusive, it's just going to frustrate collectors because most people won't be able to get it. Now let's take a look at Breaker, who is, to me, is just a, well, it looks like a Marvel Legends Infinity War Captain America head who's been dressed like an Apache pilot. I don't really know what's gone wrong here. The original classic look of Breaker is quite simple, but the little upgrades they've given him, he actually, to me, it just doesn't look like Breaker anymore. He looks like a helicopter pilot. And I was very disappointed at the almost total lack of detail on his vest. Maybe it's because I'm looking at an early design sample or something like that, but I would have liked a lot more detail in the vest on this figure. Now, I'm not going to talk about the retro collection stuff because it's just a complete waste of time. It's just 25th anniversary figures being brought out again. I only really want to discuss the classified stuff. And for anyone who wants to jump into the comments and say that I'm just hating on Hasbro or hating on classifieds, I'm making this video because I hope someone at Hasbro sees it and listens to the fans. I am a lifelong G.I. Joe fan, and even before classifieds came out, I have publicly mentioned in other live streams and other videos of mine that I have wanted a 6-inch G.I. Joe line. But I want a good 6-inch G.I. Joe line, not this lazy garbage that they're pushing out. Right now, being a member of Hasbro Pulse is absolutely pointless. I've got countless friends who are on Hasbro Pulse who watched this live stream, waited for the announcements, went online to order figures, and before they could enter their shipping information in the cart, everything was sold out. Heavy Duty Roadblock, I do believe, lasted for about 15 minutes on Amazon, but 15 minutes. Like, you have G.I. Joe fans all over the world who want to order this thing, you know, some of which would not be awake because of the time zone. How in the hell are they ever going to get an opportunity to acquire some of these action figures if they're only available for 15 minutes? And that's a rare occasion, being available for 15 minutes. A lot of the time, it's about 30 seconds. So people cannot even get to the stage where they can enter their shipping information in the cart before the item is sold out. When they go to click purchase, item's no longer available. What are you doing to your customers, Hasbro? It's so disappointing. Could you imagine paying for a Netflix subscription where all you were allowed to watch were movie trailers on Netflix? And that's what Hasbro Pulse is. You're paying to browse, and you're not even getting the opportunity to buy stuff when it comes up for sale because it sells out so fast. You would not stay subscribed to Netflix for very long if you clicked on there. You're paying $9.99 a month to watch movie trailers, and then when you want to click on a movie and you've got to pay to watch the movie, and then before you can enter your details and your information, all of a sudden that movie's sold out. Everyone would cancel their subscriptions to Netflix, and the company would realize what they've done wrong, and they would make some serious changes. But that's not happening with Hasbro Pulse, because people are still paying a subscription to browse. It's like paying an entry fee to walk into the toy aisle of a shop. You're not buying anything, you're just paying $5 or whatever it is to go in and look up and down the aisles and see empty pegs. What a pointless experience. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you think I'm just here hating on Hasbro and hating on classifieds, you are wrong. I want 6-inch G.I. Joe, and I want 6-inch G.I. Joe to be good. And the only way we're going to get that is if we demand from Hasbro, and the only way we can do that is to vote with our dollar. Don't buy substandard products and don't subscribe to Hasbro Pulse. I'm not telling you to do that, but the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing in the exact same way and expecting a different result. So if you're going to keep paying a fee to Hasbro Pulse to get early access to figures that sell out before you can buy them, it's insane. So by the end of that live stream, they had announced 4 new G.I. Joe classified products, 3 of which are exclusives. There are more exclusives than there are retail available figures. What in the holy hell? The designer who was on that stream, I don't know who he is, but he kept talking about more blood, more blood. You read the live chat on that live stream, and there was a lot of blood. It was a bloodbath because fans are angry at Hasbro. They're angry at Hasbro Pulse. And you fans, you need to vote with your dollar to make some changes here. Until Hasbro makes some serious changes and stop cocking up almost every G.I. Joe classified release, I will not be buying into this line. For me, the future of 6-inch military figures sits with the new Valaverse Action Force toy line. Hasbro are introducing holes for the blast effects, but they're not giving you the blast effects. They're introducing removable magazines very occasionally, but they're not giving you spare magazines. If there is anyone from the Hasbro G.I. Joe classified team watching this video, please start listening to your fans. Stop with all the exclusives, make things readily available at retail, and give people the types of products that they really want. And stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. Collectors will pay an extra $4 or $5 a figure to give them the breadth of accessories that they deserve with these figures. Give Roadblock an ammo belt. Give them all spare magazines if you're going to give them rifles with removable magazines. And if you're going to put holes in the barrels for blast effects, give the damn figures blast effects. Right now, you're pissing off an entire community. So thank you all for watching. If you want to hear me go on a couple of other rants about some Hasbro G.I. Joe classified figures, there's some video links right here. Okay, I'm going to head off and start writing my script for my History of Ghostbusters toys for Iconicon. See you in the next video, everyone. Cheers.